To preface this whole video, I personally struggle so much with not being able to focus with things big or small, my goals, and specifically with this YouTube channel and just filmmaking in general, which really quite honestly pisses me off because this is my passion. Like, this is what I love to do. And so oftentimes I find myself asking these questions like, why am I so rarely motivated? And why is it so hard for me to just spend a day working on projects? And ultimately, where did all my focus go? This thought of my lack of motivation and focus has really haunted me for quite a while. Recently, I think I've realized, dude, I'm just freaking overstimulated. I'm feeding my brain so much content and so much idle information that I have little time to just process hanging out with people and being a human. Odds are, if you're watching this video, you're overstimulated too. And that's probably why you can't stay focused and why I can't either. Like, just thinking about it, like when I wake up in the morning, I sometimes just go open my computer, open Spotify, play music, catch up on Instagram, scroll through TikTok, and before I know it, like an hour plus has gone by and it's a horrendous way to start the day. Especially when I meticulously plan out my whole day the night before. But you know, the cool thing about all of this is as people, we can always change. We can always move forward. I think it's hugely important to really fully understand this condition we've unintentionally brought upon ourselves by not being intentional. So what is overstimulation? Overstimulation, or sensory overload, is when your senses are just completely overloaded with information, making it difficult or sometimes near impossible to fully process the information you are receiving. So you see, our brains are wired to shoot out this chemical called dopamine. It gets shot out every time that we receive gratification or a sense of pleasure. Just thinking, like, back in the day, it was way harder for me to get that sense of gratification. Like when I was a kid, I'd go and build Legos, spend a lot of time on that, but I'd be stoked. And on the weekends, if I was lucky, you know, I'd hang out with a friend and it would just be one of the best times ever. But the problem is now pleasure can be so easily accessed. Like, we have an entire world inside of our phone. I like to think of social media kind of be like junk food, where like a little bit of it, that's good, it's tasty. Too much of it though, you're sick, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be lazy. We also have to deal with this pressure to constantly be productive. Like, hustle culture has become this school of thought that's just so common in the world of creators, entrepreneurs, and just people that are really ambitious. I actually tend to find myself kind of subscribing to that school of thought, where I'll be in a social scenario and in that moment, in my head, I'm kind of thinking like, dude, I'm not working on anything tangible right now. Like, I'm not being productive. It'll pull me out of that moment. I find myself falling into a rut of not being present in general, which is so dumb because in reality, hanging out with friends is one of the things in life I value most. All just a part of the human condition, I guess. Thankfully these days I don't struggle as much with like almost disassociating in social scenarios because I'm thinking of something I could be doing. But I definitely still need to work on like cornering out time to be like, okay, this is when I'm gonna let loose and just hang out, and this is when I'm gonna really hone in. That's just time management, right? Classic. And to be honest, the process of writing this video has been extremely difficult because I've had so much trouble focusing, which I think is pretty hilarious and a bit hypocritical, and it's something I need to work on. Like, I need to, like, straight up. But also, I mean, this video wouldn't exist if I didn't genuinely struggle with focus, so there's that. So at the start of this year, me and my buddy Levi decided like, hey, we're gonna start reading a bunch more books. Currently, I've got a bunch of books that I've been trying to read. We decided to start a like weekly get together where we just hang out and read our separate books together.
Yeah, I was just spending like way too much time on my phone, and I realized that, and I don't know, I enjoyed reading whenever I was younger. Just like reading for fun, and it's just like a good way to relax. And there's like so many books that can like help you gain like so much like knowledge and stuff. Sure. Especially like books about like the faith, being like a Christian, and just like even just like mind bending books. It just, you can get like so much enjoyment out of it. Just like, it's fulfilling too.
And it helps you with your vocabulary.
Yeah.
And just articulation of things, and helps you understand the world better. In that same vein of intentionality, me and my buddy Grant have been trying to grab coffee with each other every week. These days, how much time are you spending on your phone?
YouTube, like the one I really spend a lot of time on. Because I don't really use my phone for anything else.
Not even texting and calling.
Well, no, like for entertainment purposes. I mean, I don't use social media. So it's probably like 3 or 4 hours a day. It's not great.
Yeah, that's what it's for me right now with TikTok, bro. It's gotten bad. It's so funny because while I've been like trying to make the video, I'll be like writing out the video, and then I'll just start wasting time on my phone. It's been like the complete opposite of what I'm trying to like.
Yeah, you're trying to talk about not doing it, and then you end up just...
Sure, Levi and I and Grant and I would probably end up hanging out anyway if we didn't intentionally schedule it, but there's something about going out of your way and like setting aside time to be like, hey, we're gonna hang out, that just adds a new level of depth and value to your friendship. And guess what, dude? Intentionality also applies to our work. If you literally go to my channel and scroll through, you can see how each video is separated by like a month or 2 months or 3 months, even like 5 months. Which isn't horrible, but it kind of is horrible when I've had this desire to be posting weekly for so long. And perhaps I'm just really buying into hustle culture. At any rate, whatever it is, for some reason, it's really difficult for me to get into that deep focus state when I'm working on a video. Well, actually, I can think about like 3 separate stages. Number 1 is when I come up with the idea for a video. I find myself writing a ton. I'm stoked. I'm fleshing out thoughts and random ideas in the video. Number 2, shooting the video. I freaking just love shooting. The creativity just flows out of me. And 3 is when I've told myself the video is coming out within the next 2 to 3 days-ish. I'll spend like 5 to 7 hours a day working on the video. Stepping back, it's in the spaces in between where I'm way more susceptible to distraction because I'm not really in this like headspace of urgency. I'll pick up my phone, scroll social media, say yes to any friends that ask to hang out when I know I should be working on my project, and I end up just wasting a lot of time. Well, I've been giving this question quite a bit of thought recently, and I've found every single solution revolves around the idea of both self-discipline and willpower. Being aware of how much time we're spending on social media, our phones, our computers, our screens, actually brings quite a bit of incentive. Because when we're actually aware is when we realize, well, this is actually a problem. Something I've started recently is applying the 30-minute rule to my life. When I wake up, in the first 30 minutes, I don't look at a screen, I don't check my phone, and I just kind of be for a while. And similarly, I don't look at a screen or listen to any music before I go to bed for like 30 minutes. I mean, I don't do this perfectly every day or every night, but I try my best to. And obviously, there's exceptions. Like if I'm watching a movie with a buddy and I end up falling asleep, like obviously. This method has brought me a lot of clarity in the morning, especially because I can just wake up, be with my thoughts, pull out my Bible, and just spend some time with Jesus and really plan out the day. And then at nighttime, it's just so nice because I could just sit on my bed and, you know, read a book and really process everything that happened that day. Another amazing method for me and / recommendation has been removing notifications from my phone. On the new iPhone update recently, they added this thing called focus mode, which is just do not disturb on crack. It's super personalized. And if you have like an Android or whatever, I don't know what they do on there for do not disturb. I'm sure there's a way to turn off your notifications. It kind of cuts off that subconscious dopamine loop of when your phone lights up, you pick it up and you're like, oh, notification. I'm gonna waste my life on Instagram and frickin' just burn my eyes out on TikTok and just melt my attention span to just a fine crisp like ounce of frickin' just not like nothing. In order to grow our self-discipline and willpower, we gotta just build that muscle in our brain. To avoid being sucked into this void of excess and overstimulation in this world, we gotta like set aside time to do the things that we need to / want to do. This could look like planning out our days, our weeks, our months to make sure we're spending time with those we love and really truly pursuing our goals. We gotta be, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but we gotta be intentional. On top of that, in our free time, cutting down the amount of media we consume would be insanely beneficial, whether that's listening to way too much music, spending way too much time on social media, being glued to the TV, whatever that is for you. Decreasing the level of content we feed ourselves would be an absolute game changer. What I think is really rad is as people, we're constantly growing and changing, and so there's always so much room to move forward. And to be at a point where we're truly growing and we're staying focused, we gotta fight, dude. It's gonna be a battle, but it's so possible. which is awesome. But yeah, if any of that resonated with you, just be sure to drop a comment down below. I really want to join in on a conversation about this with you guys. And be sure to subscribe to just follow my journey through this, and we can go on it together. And dude, leave a like so more people can see this video. I just appreciate it a bunch. So thank you guys so much for watching, and God bless. Like, I look at this guy, and like he's attentive, he has his ears out.